Welcome back to 2020. Hopefully everybody survived their Christmas and good New Year. Progress so far is I've laid a little bit more underlay leading up to the actual helix. I still need to actually do the actual rise supporting properly that comes around here to get the correct gradient so the rest of it can follow. Especially when I need the distance between the bottom track and that first layer there and there. Now they're going to be the crucial ones, so that, mind you, is the main determining factor of the rise. Otherwise, things are going on quite nicely. Still need to get some more threaded rod to finish off the helix supports, and still need to get some more aluminium strapping and cut them down to size, as it were. However, let's progress on. We've got the set of points that came to make it into a dual line leading into the actual hidden sidings, and I've now started to lay some track, thankfully. Laying out all the actual switches on how I want them to enter and exit. I need to get myself some more re-railers for the hidden sidings though. And also laid down some foam. Now, I had a bit of a dilemma and thought, okay, do I use the Woodland Scenics track bed? Looking at the actual price per unit for one of these packets, I know you get a few in them, but they really don't go all that far. So, went off to a place called Foamland here in Tassie, but unfortunately they said that they won't be able to get any of what I actually found in until March this year. I thought, okay, well, I'm not ready for it, but I hit eBay and came up with these nice sheets of what's called EVA foam. Now it's 5mm thick, close to what this is. I know it's imperial, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, 5mm thick. And it comes in sheets of 35cm by 100cm. And it's a simple case of just simply, you can get adhesive backing ones before I go on much further, but I opted against the actual adhesive backs and decided to use normal PVA glue with a roller, and pretty much it glues down pretty quick. It's a little bit more denser than the actual Woodland Scenics underlay, but otherwise that's what I've decided to go with, and ordered more off eBay. Yeah, right, waiting period is probably about a couple of weeks from China, but if you are lucky enough to find this in like craft shops, it's actually apparently used or commonly used for cosplay outfits for the padding, but otherwise it's working brilliantly for track bed underlay, and it's one hell of a lot cheaper. So to give you an idea, one of these sheets will actually cost you about $8 Australian. You may be able to get it cheaper elsewhere, but that's about the cheapest I've found on eBay itself. Right, I keep saying I need to clean up this mess, so that's what I'll have to end up doing.
Plum Island Travel, your one-stop shop for YouTube destinations. Today's special is just a short train journey from all corners of the UK, the Channel of Tram Junction. Take a meander through the upcoming city streets by tram, only £4 per adult, £2 per child. Or jump on the Heritage Railway for £10 per adult, £5 per child. Buffet lunch packages available from £50. estate now selling, contact Jeff, our host of Tram Junction. All flights, transfers and meals included, accommodation not yet built. Package deals start from £7,000 per person, so call now 1-800-PI-TRAVEL. That's 1-800-PI-TRAVEL.
Right, also apart from laying underlay, I've now got my cameras working. I've got 5 of them at the moment, not properly positioned, but give me a rough idea. And I've got the program running. Ooh, let me just turn the exposure of this thing down, and then hopefully you might be able to actually see. That looks a bit better. Okay, so the actual cameras will cycle through various different positions on the helix, the hidden sidings entry and exit. Not so much recording, but will allow me to see where all places are actually hidden there and what's actually happening with the trains. Now this will be a dual monitor system, so I'll have this cycling through on one screen while I'm having my actual operation control panel or Y throttle on the other screen. But they come out nice and crystal clear. But I mean, as I say, need to do a little bit more tweaking. I'm waiting on a comms cabinet. God, I love having to redo exposures all the time. Bear with me again. Let's just crank that up a bit more. There we go. So this is the disaster at the moment. I'm just waiting for a comms cabinet which will house the actual computer system and allow all the cables to be tied nicely into one area. Yeah, don't worry, that heater's been disconnected. But otherwise, I've got my distribution box or power box for the actual cameras. The camera's plugged directly into the back of the computer, and anybody out of interest, they're just like dome cameras for CCTV. I've actually taken the actual cameras out of the plastic dome part and mocked up or used the existing stands and mocked up the holders for them as such. But otherwise, that's all my DCC system just kind of placed there, and the computer system that'll actually be running it. And so far, even just with the cameras, the wad of cable that's actually been placed underneath the layout. Ugh, what a disaster. Gotta love model railroads. More cables than anything else. Alright, stay tuned for more. As you can see, I've got my little helper, Daisy. She's our fat controller for the day. And also, as you can see with the progress, I now have, finally, train running. Thank God for that. All the actual switches are operated by Cobalt DCC. So they will change with decoder addressing. And we run up the helix, which has now been finally secured. but the gradient needs to be tweaked a little bit. Otherwise, it does run up nice and perfectly. So, progress over Christmas and New Year has been successful. What do you think, Daisy? That's approving. Wow.